Great morning. I was just watching YouTube and I see that some of the jurors from the Fanni Willis happenings said that what's going to come out is massive. And if people knew all the information that they know, the country would not be divided, okay? And that the diva of the South said that after the election, if he were told that aliens came down and stole ballots, he would have believed it, okay? That's pretty pitiful, isn't it? So I want to pull cards and let's just see what can you tell us about this investigation and what's coming up. They said massive. So what can we know about that? What is massive that's coming out? I think more people involved than people are suspecting. It's going to come down. Okay. We got dragons in the sky. Oh my, dragons in the sky. So this is the fight. This is the card of the Five of Wands, the arguments, the fights, the drama that's going out. Well, that's already starting out drama-filled, isn't it? The next one is things being tied up, mentally tied up. So it looks like when this comes out, there is nowhere for these ones to move. They've got them, okay? The center of it, we have, who was at the center of it? The Midas, okay? The one wanting to retain power, the one that wanted to control everything. So who was the ones controlling everything? 45. On his throne directing all of this. And they've got the Pentacles for me is sometimes also representative of the evidence. They have got the evidence on him. The challenge is, of course, 45. What a surprise. Okay. And how he was directing things. And, you know, the clarification is wanting to bring some temperance, wanting to bring this. Okay. So the overarching theme so far is about 45 and temperance. The way he tried to cool it, the way he tried to manipulate the facts. Going into it, his loss. Okay, arguing about his loss with the people in Georgia. Okay, because why? He wanted to try to hang on. Trying to hang on even though he lost. So that's not a surprise, is it, going into it? This is what the case is about. He calls and says, just find me those votes. That's all you have to do. All I want is one more vote than is needed to win. That's all I want. All I want. Now, don't you love the way he says, all I want? It's all I want. I just want you to throw the election. Because I want to hang on to power. I'm not asking much. Just to overthrow the government's all I'm asking. What's wrong with you? So when we have tied up, we have, yes, the big emotional brouhaha that's coming up. This is somebody that could not control their emotions. Okay, and then we have these testimonies that came forward, and they're going to talk about the actions that happened and how he tried to tie them up by saying, you need to find me these votes, okay? So when we have the center of it, we have, oh yes, he's just not happy. He is definitely pouting because he wanted to maintain power. And so these are about what was said, what was done, the mentation These are the messages about the actions and the mental drama that was going on, that was perpetrated by 45. He's at the center of it. The challenge is looking at that he wanted to have, long-term success. Because he was feeling embattled. He lost, okay? He lost. So he was trying to, again, manipulate the system. When it comes to temperance, he was having the nightmare scenarios about it. Mental spin. And so he was looking for the opportunity, but we have here, and I think that this one has to do with the message here is Fanni Willis has the evidence. Okay, the evidence is there. Okay, so they're looking at the action, potential action that's coming down. Because of what? The dark, sinister deeds. This would be the shadow, the devil, the ego, and what he wanted to have happen, okay? What he was proposing out there, okay? And so we're looking at this, and this is what's coming down to America. This is my card for America. What's being birthed, what he was trying to get birthed, and this is going to wind up being an absolute tower moment for 45 and many of his cohorts, okay? So that's what we have when it comes in. They're saying that this evidence is explosive. So let's break it down here very quickly. The major arcana are, of course, on this one. So this is more a thing of the happenings, but the challenge is, the major arcana is in the challenge position. It's 45, and the clarification, trying to temper things, trying to manipulate it, trying to get over on the American public by manipulating the results, okay? So let's look what we have going into it. We have his wanting to hold on to power, okay? By what? Manipulating the votes for what? His long-term success. But we have, here, I missed one here. Because he wanted to hold on to power. And this is what this message is about, the evidence that they have on what they were doing when trying to manipulate the votes, okay? So we have, going into it, he was facing loss. This affected him emotionally because he's driven by that. And he was unhappy. So result, what was the result? The arguments. Okay, sending his people out there to tie things up, to give this message. Because why? He was driven by nightmares of loss. So the last thing, the actions we have are now, we have those that came out to speak about the actions that were done that day. And, the abuse that was happening, I think just to our system, to our elections, feeling tied up, feeling brutalized, if you will, by his actions. I think it has to do with the people in Georgia. Feeling brutalized. You have the president, who is now the ex-president, calling. He's lost the election, trying to brutalize them. into taking an action which is illegal. So all of that is coming out, and so we'll have to watch it. I mean, again, you know, the cards are pretty clear, and we know the ones that went there. So we know for sure the Diva of the South, I think Mark Meadows, who else was it? Giuliani, okay? Giuliani, the Nosferatu of the Repugliuglies, okay? The Diva of the South. We had 45. So there's going to be a number of people that are going to be indicted, okay? And I think there's going to be some very unhappy people that have followed this rabbit hole of Q craziness. And when they see these indictments come down and the actual evidence behind everything, I think they will be quite surprised. Unless they're still on the planet where 45, where they would believe aliens came down and stole ballots. If they're that far out there, then maybe it won't make a difference for those. But I think for most people, you know, when this comes down, it's going to be shocking for some of them, okay? Just how nefarious these guys were behind the scenes in trying to manipulate the election results. So on that note, I'm going to leave this here, and we'll see you online. Thanks for tuning in.